This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 754 of Horse Tip Daily. A different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you, one day at a time. Today's tip is brought to you by Equestrian Collections. Greetings, horse people. Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily. Today's tip is from California-based Grand Prix show jumper Lane Clarke. In this excerpt from the Horses in the Morning show, Lane explains to Jamie how he manages to memorize all of those complicated courses. Right after this, from Equestrian Collections.
Hi, Glenn here, and I'm with Debbie from Equestrian Collections with the Equestrian Collections Product of the Week.
Hi, Glenn. This week I'm featuring a new product called the Horse Neoprene Pad for Cross Sursingles. This is something that you've never seen before, or at least I never saw it before. It's a little pad. It's about, 3 or 4 inches square, and it's got holes all around the edge. What you do is you thread your surcingle on your blanket through one side and then through the other side, and then you take the other surcingle and thread it through the opposite ends of holes. And what happens is your surcingle stays where it's supposed to. If the horse would happen to get one of those T-rings loose in the on the surcingle, he doesn't step on it because it never hits the ground. And when you go to hook them up, you don't have to go pushing around underneath there looking for the surcingle, because guess what? They're right together underneath the blanket. It costs $3.20, and it is such a time saver and a safety measure. Highly recommend it. We use them here. We just couldn't believe it when we put them on and said, hey, man, this works.
So now, does it also cover up the buckle? It looks like it might cover it up.
No, it doesn't go by the buckle. It goes underneath the horse. So see,
gotcha.
You thread the surcingles through each side, and it makes an X, and the X is right underneath the horse wherever you can adjust it, wherever you want it. And so then they're always going to have one of those little T-rings come loose.
Right.
It doesn't hit the ground. So it's a safety feature.
Huh, that's terrific. And all for $3.20. Just go to equestriancollections.com and search for Horse Neoprene Pad.
Yeah, it's really unique. Unique product. Look for it.
I'm watching some of these videos of you doing like the Las Vegas World Cup Grand Prix, which these are, for those listeners who don't quite know what it is, these are indoor giant show jumping courses that are compressed in these tiny little arenas with so many jumps in there. And my question is, I'm an eventer, and it's hard enough for me to remember a pretty straightforward 12-jump course. How on earth, what is your mental trick to learning these show jumping courses that are just, I can watch an entire day of show jumping and still not know the course. How do you do it?
I have a couple different mental tricks that I use. For one, the funny part is I have an absolutely useless sense of direction. So I think what I lack in finding my way to the show, I gain in remembering course ability. A couple things that I do. I try to remember whether it's a vertical or an archer. I try to remember the stride number. I try to get myself to remember what colors they are. I don't actually think about the colors I'm riding around, but when I know I'm ready, I can basically, tell you, the course. Like, for example, I just jumped a Grand Prix Saturday evening, and, I remember jump 1 was a blue oxer, with a left inside turn, the white and red in and out. Jump 2 was a sky-high panel, four strides to a white and red CWD oxer with a right bend down to then Terra's vertical, which was blue on the bottom with white on the top, with a left rollback turn to a red with the white diamonds vertical in oxer out, and I can go on to the whole course like that. I just, in my head, I can picture it, so that helps me the most. I'm not good at being able to visualize the round. I'm not really good at that, where you oh, I can, every time I visualize around, every jump comes down. So I quit doing that. And I don't mean when I was riding. I mean, just in my head, I'm like, for whatever reason, I end up jumping like 12 feet in the air and then landing on the back rail. So I'm like, well, that part doesn't work for me, you know? So maybe that's another skill I need to develop. But for remembering courses, you know, and also that's what I do. I mean, you know, so for me, right, you guys do 1 round or 2 rounds or 3 rounds of show jumping a day when you guys have a really busy day. When I have a really busy day, I'll do between 15 and 20 rounds. I mean, in general, I do, you know, about between 3 to 8 rounds a day each day at the show. But, you know, and that'll be between 1 and 5 different courses. So whatever you do a lot of, you get better at. I mean, like when I look at the dressage test, for you guys, I go, I don't know, go in there, you make a couple circles, and you know, you extend here, I think, and you know, and you would have no issue with that because it's something you practice all the time. So I don't think there needs to be any great skills there for me. Like I said, remembering the colors, the strides, and just being able to have a mental picture of what it looks like, almost a little bit like a bird's eye top-down approach. That helps me.
Okay, maybe I'm going to try that. That definitely is some good tips, and I'm still just incredibly impressed by the way that you still remember the last course you did. Good Lord, that's awesome.
Well, thank you.
To listen to more tips on being a better rider, just go to horsetipdaily.com and go to the topics drop-down menu on the left. If you love listening to the Horses in the Morning gang putting in their 2 cents on everything equine, you can tune in weekdays at horsesinthemorning.com. You can find Lane Clarke on Facebook or his website, mickeyhayden.com. Don't forget to support our sponsors here on Horse Tip Daily because they make these podcasts possible. Today's tip has been brought to you by equestriancollections.com. Please stop by the Horse Tip Daily Facebook page and let us know what you think of the tips you hear on the show. It's also a great place to tell us about topics you'd like to hear us cover on the show. You can subscribe to all the great shows on the Horse Radio Network through iTunes or Zune and get your horse podcasts automatically downloaded to your iPod, Zune, or MP3 player. You can also listen to the shows right on Facebook. The player's right there every day. I'll be back again tomorrow with another new expert and a different horse tip. Until then, go ride your horse! The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.